Tell me about the time you were taking a shit in front of a real, actual Picasso. Not a fucking fake, like an actual Picasso worth close to maybe $1 million.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
And you're shitting a meter away from it.
Yeah, right. No workers, man. So I knew this guy, and we used to, like, get on it together a lot, like when I was living in Sydney. And I always kind of thought he was, like, this poor guy.
Yeah, right.
He's fucking entertaining. Like, a really entertaining dude. He's actually...
How'd you meet him? If he came from, like, a rich area and you were from, like, the opposite side of the tracks.
It was kind of bars and shit.
Okay, yeah.
And, like, we're similar friends and stuff. He was kind of really into music, and we were all rapping and stuff. But, yeah, he's a funny dude. He's actually pretty famous right now. I'm not going to say who it is.
Yeah.
But, yeah, he's...
So this is a famous guy everyone mostly knows.
Yeah.
But we don't want to... You don't want to say the name.
Yeah, he wasn't famous at the time. But yeah,
Why don't you want to say the name? Because you were getting up to really bad shit.
Yeah, I don't know if he wants people to know this.
Oh, we'll get to that later then. Because if we can keep his anonymity, then maybe we can divulge what you guys were getting up to.
All right.
But anyway, so yeah, take a swig of your beer because I know it's. So you're hanging out with this guy. You have a bit of a bromance.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then.
Very funny dude. And then so after like maybe about 6 or 7 months of us hanging out, he's like, "Oh, I'm having my birthday party. Come to me dad's house and we'll fucking party there." I go there and it's like a freaking mansion, bro.
Do you know where? Whereabouts?
It's in Redfern. Yeah,
Redfern. Is
so,
that a rich area?
Well, like it used to be a poor area, but it like has become a rich area.
Oh, like Yarraville.
Yeah. It was like
because when I was a kid, Yarraville was a fucking dump.
Yeah, well, like there's a really there's some real shitty streets that you don't want to walk down in Redfern, but there's also like a lot of really nice places. And his dad lived above an art gallery, so his dad was like a massive art dealer kind of dude.
Wow.
He had like a massive tree growing in the middle of the house, like it was like surrounding a tree
inside.
Inside, yeah. It was so weird, bro.
Oh, you're talking like a couple of mil, the house.
Oh yeah. Oh, more than that. It's in Sydney, bro.
Right.
So it's like Ritz as fuck.
So when you laid eyes on this house, you were like, "Fuck, this dude is rich."
Oh, dude.
And I've been shouting him drinks.
I was looking at the dude. He's just like fucking. Like fuck, is the loopiest dude. But I guess like he was raised rich, so like he's always had his dad to fall back on. So he's got his own problems.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm still like spinning out, and so I've taken a few pills. So I got the pill shits, and I went to the toilet. I'm doing a shit, and I'm looking in front of me, and I'm a huge fan of art. Like, massive fan.
I find that interesting about you. I wouldn't have put those two together, you know? But yeah.
My fan of art.
Yeah, like fine art, like that.
I've been drawing since I was a kid.
Yeah, well, of course, tattooing.
Yeah. Or like, back when I was a kid, I couldn't read or write. So I'd just draw all the time.
That makes sense, yeah.
And I loved it, and I'd, like, admire other people's artworks.
So you knew about Picasso's work and...
Yeah. Oh, fuck yeah. Yeah, like I watch a lot of documentaries and shit.
If you don't know who Picasso is, it's a chick on acid. Like her face is all all that distorted shit. Is that called abstract or?
I think so.
I don't know the technical word.
Yeah, it's just like he looked at things in the weirdest way.
It's something you think you could paint.
Yeah,
like it looks like grade 1 shit.
Yeah, except like it's all like an eye over here and shit. But yeah, so I'm doing a shit in his toilet. I look forward, and it's just like a Picasso sketch there, like with a fucker signed Picasso. I'm like, that can't be right.
But then again, there's a tree inside this house.
Yeah, I was like, holy fuck, this is a Picasso sketch. And he put it in the toilet so you can look at it while you shit.
Wow.
Like, weird move. It wasn't like I would get it if it was pissing. Like, if it was in front of you while you were having a piss. Because it's like, I'm just here, like, because peeing's like a general nice feeling. But doing a shit, it's like getting, like, fucked from the inside out.
So what is the psychology behind that? He wanted you to let it sink in while you took a shit that he had a Picasso.
Yeah, probably.
He wanted you to really
know. Just like, this is how rich I am.
Like, holy fuck. For the next 9 minutes, I'm going to be realizing this guy's got a fucking Picasso.
Yeah, I couldn't look at him the same again.
Or maybe it was a case of, you'll need to sit down to see this.
Yeah,
or maybe it's just one for the ladies.
Yeah, fully. Yeah, well, his dad's probably getting laid all the time, being that rich. You know, rich people. But yeah, he's...
No, I don't.
Yeah,
I don't know many.
I know a few. Like, weirdly enough, they like me. I don't know what it is. It's like they like my comedy. They're like this. I think it's because they're as fucked in the head as me. It's like the opposite side of the scale.
I completely agree with that. I think the ultra rich and the ultra poor are fantastic people. It's the climbers that fuck it all up for everyone else. The middle class,
Oh,
the
yeah.
people that want to ascend
Yeah.
and put goals and make.
Yeah, where I'm at right now.
Really?
I don't know. I've got goals and shit.
No,
I'm
but yeah,
shooting for the stars.
like property and all that shit.
Oh, nah. Fuck that, man. Like, I actually got a loan so I could have a credit rating so I could buy a house one day. And then I was just like, I don't even want a house or to pay off this credit card. It was
So going back to the toilet, you saw the Picasso. Did you come out and go, "Hey man, there's a fucking Picasso in your toilet"?
yeah.
And he was like, "Oh yeah, that's Dad's."
Yeah. He's just fucking, it's just so whatever about it, man. He was,
Wow.
it's a weird situation, man. Weird knowing, like, who he is now, too. It's like, oh, it makes sense. And I watch all these things, and it's always like, I don't know, it's like, you don't fit. Like, you were brought up too well to be acting like this, you know? Like, I think. But still, lovely dude.
Right. So you're saying the performer in question, who we can't name, you think it's an act? He's expressing, or she's expressing themselves that they're from a rough upbringing when they're really not. Is that the part of their
Yeah,
character?
well, he never brought it up. Like, there was like, you think about, like, if you lived in a place where there's a shitter and you look forward and there's a Picasso, you'd be like, oh, my dad's got a Picasso in the toilet. Like, you'd think you'd drop it somewhere. But I don't know. Maybe he was just hiding it because he was worried. I don't know. He just wanted to have fun with everybody. So, like, whatever. It's all good.
At the time when you were how old were you at this time?
It's probably like 24.
24. Had you done stand-up yet?
Nah. I was rapping, though.
Oh, you were rapping,
Yeah.
writing your own lyrics and...
No, I was learning how to read and write. So, like, I could freestyle really well from when I was young. Like, I started rapping when I was, like, 13. And I just do it off the top of the head and battle people and crap like that. And then all my friends started, like, making it. Like, they started, like making albums and, like, making money off it and shit. And I'm like, dude, I need to start learning how to read and write, or fucking...
Right. So you saw friends in rap entering some form of circuit
like
in
success
New South Wales.
kind of thing.
So
Yeah.
they were doing regular shows around, like, there was a circuit.
Yeah. There's plenty of Aussie hip hop around.
I thought we just had the Hilltop Hoods and maybe a couple of Indigenous people. That's it.
No, there's heaps.
Is it way bigger?
It's huge, man. I got mates that, like, sell out. Like,
No, you're right. It is. I
Athenaeums
spoke to
and
Joel
shit like
Pierce. He told me it's big.
It's a big game.
It's big.
It's not really my jam anymore. Like, it's not my massive thing.
Do you think stand-up will be your jam forever? Do you think
100%, yeah.
you think you can be doing stand-up until you can't no more, until your body or mind won't let you?
Yeah, definitely, man.
I think that about you as well. Every now and then you meet, well, not every now and then, you come across comedians all the time, and you can either categorize them in someone who's going to stay here forever or someone who's going to leave very quickly. I sat down with a comedian who I won't mention the name of, but I wanted to vomit all over his face.
Yeah? Why? You could just tell.
I just said, "Why do you do stand-up?" And he goes, "I just want to become a talk show host, a game show host."
Jesus fuck, bro.
And I'm like, Jesus.
Holy crap.
I'm like, wow, full respect, but I can't respect that, so I take that back. I realize I just said something that doesn't make sense. Fuck, that's weird as. How can you do stand-up just so that you could enter TV to be a Wheel of Fortune host?
Yeah, it's a
better gig than I've got right now, so I can't
Yeah, I guess, like, there's
mock you with derisory, but I just think, fuck, really?
There's also, like, comedians trying to, like, get on Channel 10 on The Project, which I find weird as well. Like, they're like,
Yeah.
I want to get on The Project and things like that. And I'm like, no, I want to do, like, the darkest, most fucked up shit I can think of and make it eatable. Like,
one of the darkest, most fucked up shit I have is I'd love to, if I won Powerball, like insane Powerball, like 130 mil, I'd like to buy a chunk of Channel 10 and regularly put Chris Wainhouse as a panel member on the project, full time.
Yeah, fucking A.
And he has to have at least 5 pints before we start filming. Right? Chris is your regular, everyday panel host.
He's definitely one of my favorite, like, comedians out there.
Absolutely.
He's like one of the first comedians that talked to me when I came to Melbourne, kind of thing. I think I kind of got cancelled really quick.
When did you move here to do stand-up?
2016.
Okay.
So I've been here for 5 years, I'm guessing. Is that right? Yeah.
And what's your impression of Melbourne when you first came here? The
Dude,
circuit.
It was a rough drop, bro, for me. Because, like, I came in, like, doing, like, darkish shit. And at the time, it was super PC. Like, I was going around in rooms, like, waiting to see someone else doing something that I was doing, and it wasn't happening. I think I got cancelled like straight off the bat. Like I got up and I did a joke about how good it would be to have an anorexic partner,
Yep.
and everyone laughed. So like the audience members were loving it. And then like after I was like, I did good, and I walked outside and there was like 3 women there, and they were like, "You're a piece of shit." And I'm like, "Why?" And they're like, "That joke was horrific. You shouldn't make fun of anorexic people." And I'm like, "I wasn't. I was saying how good they are." Like I was like, "Did you hang around to the end and hear the end of it?" They're like, "No, no, tell me what it is." And I'm like, so the end of the joke goes, "Look, I'm not trying to say if you want to be with me, you have to starve with yourself. I'm just saying if you were to be with me, I'd judge you on who you are on the inside and not what you weigh." So it's got like a positive message. It's like the least funniest bit about the fucking joke. And they were like, "Not good enough." And I'm like, "Well, maybe you're retarded." And they're like, "Bah." What I didn't realize is that they were like female comics. And I basically just called them all a bunch of fucking idiots. And then they went and posted a big rant on like some women's comedy page about it. And then it was just hard for me to get gigs.
Really?
It's never gotten easier. Like, I still got to hustle.
Well, going back to your joke, like I just can't people see it's my whole thing is it's a comedy stage, right? It's a comedy stage, so I can joke about murdering someone. I can joke about being a kiddie fiddler, I guess.
If you want to.
It's a stage for stand-up comedy, and if you think you can't do material on being a pedophile, Louis C.K.'s pulled it off. Bill Burr's pulled it off. You just got to be good enough.
Yeah.
Sarah Silverman's pulled it off. You've just got to be good enough. Amy Schumer has also pulled it off in one of her specials. You just got to be good enough. And I think no one really wants to be with an anorexic partner because it's probably fucking hell. Can't they see you're joking? Like to watch another human being that you love and cherish falling away, losing weight day in, day out, slowly withering away, not eating and dying is fucking tragic. But some people deal with their issues by making
joke, or like this is the
joke
thing.
about it.
It was about me. Like I used to like have anorexia when I was young, and I was trying to like, I generally just like get an idea about myself, and I like try to think of some positives to it. Like I'm always trying to like make light of horrible situations. And I think I'm like because horrible shit happens, like especially in like poor areas or like people who are like had like kind of messy upbringings. It's like bad shit happens just all the time.
So can I just before you rush away with too many points, so that joke about anorexia, you think it was coming from a place of for yourself to deal with you having anorexia as a child?
Yeah. Well, like
how old were you? If
I'm on and off. Last time I had it was probably like 4 years ago.
What's it? Is it bulimia or anorexia?
Anorexia, so I don't eat
at all.
Yeah, like I'll just stop. I'll try not eat for as long as I can, and if I do eat, it will just be like something little.
And how long does that last? If I could pry.
I don't know, like usually like a couple of days, like, and then you need to eat something. But like it's weird, like your head starts thinking everything's poison. So like it's like you go into a shop, and you're like not eating that poison, not eating that poison. You know, like it's
really.
Yeah.
2 days is a fast though.
Yeah, but like you don't eat heaps.
Once
you don't fill up, like, and then you continue. So you just have like a little bit.
Okay,
and then you continue not eating for a couple more days.
Okay, got ya. Because bulimia, I've spoken to another comedian who suffered bulimia, and she was telling me that bulimia is, forgive me if I'm incorrect, but you vomit after a meal.
Yeah.
After every meal, and it got so bad that her teeth fucked up because.
Yeah, that's a real thing.
That's acidity.
Yeah, I really like my teeth, so I was like, I'm not gonna vomit.
So you just won't eat,
yeah.
Because I do what you're doing, but I call it fasting. But I eat after like the longest I've done is a 22, 23 hour fast. But then I'll eat and I'll eat well.
Yeah.
But you don't. You eat the most smallest amount of food and keep going.
Yeah, and like also like nothing with like in my head poison. So it's like just like something healthy. You know, like maybe like a carrot, like bang a carrot down, done. See how long you can keep going on that.
Fuck, why? I don't get it. I just want to ask why, if I can. I do apologize if I'm pushing, but I just don't know why do you do that?
I think like.
Where does it come from?
When I was a kid, someone of authority used to say, "You're fat, useless, and your mum's a slut," just like on repeat until I fought him. And like it just kind of stuck in my head, so like. They really cared about the way that they looked, and they were kind of pushing that on me. So in my head, I started thinking, I'm fat, and I always seen myself as fat. And I was like, how come I'm not losing weight? And then like even when I'm at my skinniest, I still thought I was fat.
Fucking hell. So this guy would say, you're fat and your mum's a slut. And you'd be like, I can't help my mum being a slut, but I can help me being fat, so I won't eat.
Well, like, to be fair, he was right about my mum. And and I guess, like, I was a little bit fat at the time. He used to say, you're fat, useless, and your mum's a slut. To be honest, it was, like, pretty good advice. You know, like, it really helped me, like, because, you know, as an adult now, I like, try to keep reasonably healthy. You know, like, cautious of loose women. You know, and I try to be the best at everything. So, like, some good things stuck in, some bad things stuck in, you know? I'm not complaining.
Right. So that's where it started.
Yeah.
And then that manifested itself into trying to lose weight. So you lose weight by just fucking not eating. And everything you went to put in your mouth felt like you ascribed it a definition as poison.
Yeah.
And that allowed your brain to put it down.
Well, like, I'll try exercise and eating well first. But, like, no matter what was going on, I still felt like I was fat. And I was like, this isn't working. I need to try something else. And I was like, just try not to eat. Like, even now I fast since after lockdown anyway. Like, I'm just not eating during the day, and I'll eat something at night. And, like, that's just to lose weight because it's an easy way to lose weight. You know?
Okay, so from that childhood, that manifests itself into an anorexic trait that you possess. And then you get up on stage, you process it on stage, you turn it into a joke.
Yeah.
And then comedians come and lash out at you and say you can't make fun of anorexia.
Yeah.
Well, they don't know the bigger fucking picture.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's my point about all stand-up. You don't know. Sometimes they may miss the mark, but we're all trying.
Yeah, well, like, most of the jokes are like, that night it didn't miss the mark either. Like, that night it fucking landed.
Yeah.
Real well. They were angry that it landed. Because another guy got up after me and just, like, said obscenities. Like, horrible. And they went upset with him because they didn't get laughs. They were just kind of like, oh, he bummed. But I did well. It was funny, like, afterwards, it's the first time I met Gabe Hogan. Right? I love Gabe. She's, like, one of my best buddies. Like, one of my favorite people.
Just a nice person.
Like, I walked up to her afterwards because she was emceeing, and I was like, that went well, right? I got laughs. And she was like, I think they were laughing at you and not with you. And then a group of guys walked up just as she was saying, like, you're the best tonight. Oh, you fucking rocked. And I was like, sorry, Gabe. And she was nice to me after that. She was lovely.
So you got canceled from that gig?
Yeah, well, pretty much, like, I couldn't get another gig anywhere, really. I was trying.
Really? What is that? Does that, I don't know. I guess, what does that feel like? Like, in terms of, does it make you stronger in terms of I'm going to write my way?
Yeah, well,
or does it make you go, okay, how do I pander and write some sort of material that's going to appease the masses? And
well, like, I did for a bit. Like, quite a while. I was like, how can I say these things?
Because there's obviously like a wrestling match going on in your head. What do I do? Do I creatively stick to my guns, or do I just...
Yeah, well, like, I kind of, like, not all my jokes are fucked up. Like, sometimes I just get an idea and I put it together. And I'm like, that's good. I like that. I'm going to use that. But, like, when they're fucked up, it's like, for a while there, like, it's only till pretty much recently, I'd be like, how can I say this to keep the people that aren't going to like this happy? You know, like, I'd try to wrap that around my head. Like, how can I say this so they don't leave, but the other people still get to laugh?
So tactfully.
Yeah, tactfully and shit. And then,
well, that's a great skill to have in stand-up. It's a fucking very good skill.
Yeah, but it started fucking up the jokes.
There's a way you could finesse it, right? You could just mask it a bit so the crowd don't.
Yeah, but then there was like these. So like then all of a sudden my jokes start getting. Like I could say this, but I say this. This gets less laughs, but it makes them happy. Or I could say this, which gets more laughs, but it'll upset them. And I've decided like recently, like I had this kind of thing where like I had like a video of me doing like a fat people joke or whatever, and I showed Dan from the lounge, and he was like, "Nah, you can't do that on the stage. It's too dark. It's too fucked up." And I was like, and look, I didn't get upset, run away, and fucking make a big thing. Dan and the lounge boys are probably some of the nicest people I've ever met.
Yeah.
I went away. I'm like, I'm not gonna get lighter than that. So this means I can just do what I want now. I just started writing jokes, whatever the fuck I wanted, to see how it goes, and they've been doing a lot better, to be honest. Yeah, they're not like mid laughs. It's like I'm kind of just getting to this point where it's just like, that's working.
Well, so it should, because how many years are you in now? You're in
like 6
years. So your brain is starting to wire synapses that can comprehend a piece of material and say it in a way that's going to produce a punchline.
Yeah.
So you're learning. You haven't got that when you start doing stand up. I mean, it's raw. It's fucking raw. You go to any new open mic night and you just see a lot of raw comedy that's just incorrect,
not enough structure,
inappropriate, not structured, misses the mark all the time. But as a comedian, I love those gigs because I can. It's like you play a puzzle. What's the act trying to articulate?
Yeah, true that. I like going and watching comedy too. Like I do. Like I always hang around after me set or before it or whatever, just because I'm like, I kind of love this shit. Like I love watching it. I like seeing what people are doing, seeing their jokes. Like seeing their angles. Like I enjoy the whole thing. So it's. I probably drink a little bit too much, but whatever.
No, no, rubbish.
I'm on my second one so far. How long have we been going?
Your anorexia doesn't stretch to your alcohol consumption, though, does it?
No, I love drinking. Yeah.
So what? Are you serious? So during your period, then it's not anorexia, man.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I'm not eating.
It's like this special drinking allowed anorexia.
I think it's worse for you to drink while you've got that problem.
How do you not want to smash a kebab?
Oh, dude, you do. You just everything becomes poison. It's the best way to describe it. Yeah, like I'd go through a shop like 7-Eleven and I'd be like, I can't eat anything here. I'll get a water.
If I wasn't eating for 26 hours or however long you would abstain from food and then drank, one beer would just send me right over.
Yeah, I'd get. Yeah. Well, like I've got a really good tolerance for booze.
Yeah,
I can drink I can drink all night. Like some people need drugs, and I know I do take drugs on the occasion, but it's like I don't really need it.
Are you still drinking every day?
Nah.
Yeah.
No, I've gotten over the COVID thing.
Yeah, because last time we caught up, you were like, I'm drinking every day. I'll stop soon.
Yeah, well, like I wasn't working then. I got my job back, and I'm like, all right, time to start eating a bit healthier. Starve myself during the day, only drink sometimes. I haven't been doing comedy a couple of times sober. It's easy, man. Like it's not hard. I think I just like drinking. Like and it's not much difference. I think when I'm sober, I can kind of tell what's going on around me, and I'm gauging the audience a little bit more. But like I'm generally just doing material. Like I don't really like improvise too much anymore.
Do you enjoy performing straight? Do you prefer performing sober, tipsy, or drunk?
Probably like all of them. Yeah, it's a.
What if I had to force you to prioritize them into our 1, 2, 3?
All right, so
sober, tipsy.
So tipsy,
drunk. Yep.
sober, drunk.
Okay, yeah.
Hey, so I don't mind doing it drunk. There used to be a time where I'd like I think Dor said it to me once. He was like, the one thing that fucks me about you is that you could be passed out on a table, like before a gig, and as soon as you hear your name, you get up, rock up, and just nail you don't forget any bits of your jokes.
Yeah,
it's like nail it perfectly, and I'm like, yeah, because I think about them all the time.
Yeah, you've got the Chris Franklin gene, my friend.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Chris Franklin can drink himself stupid.
Just
and
get up
slur,
and smack it.
And then when they call his name on stage, he's just straight up and he's articulate, eloquent.
Yeah.
I just reckon he's playing a tape in his brain.
Yeah, I think that's
like
the problem
old
when you're blind.
TDK cassette tape because he's got his same bits from like 30 years ago. And he's just put the pencil in, wind it, press play, and away he goes. And hey, it works. He smashes it.
Yeah,
it's great. It's great to see. It's I'm in awe of it. I'm like, how the fuck do you do that? Because I can't have. If I have more than 3 beers, I start slurring.
Oh, right.
And that affects my performance.
Oh shit.
Yep. Yeah.
Pardon me.
No, you're right, man. Feel free.
These burps are gonna be in here. I'm just stinking up the room with my fucking burps, my pizza breath.
Did you have pizza for dinner?
I had a pizza roll.
Oh, pizza roll.
Yeah.
What is this American contraption called a pizza roll? What is it?
It's like a kind of scroll with like cheese and stuff in it.
So you bake it in the oven?
No, I just bought it from Woolies and just.
Nice.
Hey, well, like I didn't have time to cook dinner, so I was just like, fuck it, I'll just do that.
Yeah. Well, speaking of food being poison, you just had poison for dinner.
Oh yeah, yeah, I know. I'm not worried now. I'll get I'm losing weight, but I'm not obsessing. I'll fall back into it one day though.
Do you want to lose weight?
Yeah.
Are you happy with the way you look? You look the same to me.
Yeah, everyone
have you
says
put
it.
on?
Yeah, I put on what was it? I think I was like under 90 before lockdown.
Under 90. Okay.
Yeah,
How
and
tall?
now-
Are you 6 foot?
6'1".
6'1".
Yeah,
Okay.
and
So you
now-
should be about 82 kilos.
Yeah, around that. Or
Yeah.
like 85 or something.
And you're sitting at 90.
Right now, I'm sitting at 103.
Whoa. Okay. So 3 is the pizza roll and 100 is Nenke.
Just one roll.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not too obsessed with it. It's just like my head snaps in and out of it. I feel like it's gotten easier to deal with now.
Look, it's fine. How old are you, Nenke?
Like 37.
Okay, 37. Shit will change. Well, now. You'll feel it now. As of now, going forward, 6 beers when you wake up feels
dude.
like you've had a slab.
My hangovers are fucking horrific.
Mm. I'm grateful for hangovers because hangovers have not made me an alcoholic.
Yeah.
And I thank the Lord for hangovers because they have made me abstain from big nights. I think twice about big nights.
Yeah.
I put them in my diary and I'm like, yeah, all right, I've got to clear work around those few days. So I have my special blankie and my Netflix specials so I can just recover.
You know what's weird? Like, I could drink during the week, like at a gig, right? And I'll wake up, I'll feel hungover. I'll just get up, go to work, and start fucking panel beating.
Mm.
And the hangover's gone by like 10 a.m. But if I lay in bed all day, it's there all day.
Because a hangover is banging and noise inside your head. So your hangover's going, this cunt's banging and making a noise outside of this head.
Let's let it go.
We can take the day off.
True that.
He's already feeling this shit.
True that. No, I like that thought. I'll remember that. I think it's exercising. Someone once told me, like, I used to run a lot, and like when I was like 30 to like 32 or 3 or something like that, I was just trying to like get lots of runs in. This chick's like, when you're hungover, wake up and go for a sprint around the block. You're gonna vomit, but by the end of the sprint, your hangover's gone.
Fuck.
So I used to do it sometimes, like not all the times, like just if I had something to do, and it would work. You just fucking, it's like shocking yourself out of it.
I guess so. The only one real cure for the hangover is all the Christians listening, not drinking. No, fuck you.
Fuck that.
Let's not go that far. Let's not be crazy. There's one true hangover, and it's in the West London. I became aware of it when I lived in London. In the west side of London, you pay £200, which is like $400. And you go into this clinic in the morning after your big bender and they hook you up to an IV drip. And for 90 minutes, they pump in hydrolyte and electrolytes
Holy shit.
and straight into your veins.
Yeah, I think I've seen something like that.
And
yeah.
2 hours later, because the whole point of a hangover is you're completely dehydrated and you've starved your body of its natural salts and minerals and trace elements that it needs to feel hydrated. So you go straight into the vein.
Oh, word.
And yeah.
Turns out I'm terrified of needles, bro.
So that's what West London does. And East Side London, where I was living, we had the convenience store with sausage rolls and pies. That's all we had.
That's just as good.
And you know what the fucking thing about England is? They'd sell you a sausage roll and a pie, and they didn't have fucking tomato sauce.
Why not?
What country is that?
Yeah. Like, I never use tomato sauce, but like, Jesus.
It's got to be them.
I want the choice.
Yeah, it's.
I want them to ask me and offer me a free one, and I can be like, I don't want your sauce. Because I'm smooth like that. I like your statue, bro.
Yeah, it's my. I don't know. She reminds me of like a fucking alien.
Yeah, definitely.
Like an alien crossed with a woman.
Do you
Probably
believe
my
in aliens?
ideal one. Yeah, of course I believe in aliens. Fuck yeah, man.
Yeah, you ever seen anything like a UFO
Nah,
and shit?
I've seen nothing, but I just think. What do you mean in terms of do I believe in aliens? Do I believe in little green men that have visited, or do I believe in aliens as in they're out there?
Little
in the
green men
universe?
that have visited.
I'm gonna go towards yes,
Yeah, what?
only because of Travis Walton, his UFO story. You got to look it up on YouTube.
I know which one you're talking about.
You know Travis Walton?
Yeah, what?
Yeah, I've known that for years, ever since I was a kid.
Yeah. Oh, the fire in the sky.
That was the movie they made about
yeah.
it.
I've watched a lot of his I've seen him on a lot of podcasts.
Yeah.
His talks are really weird. Like he kind of like pauses too much, just like that. He's like, oh, and yeah, like he talks weird.
That.
Yeah,
he's not. He does do that, I must admit. And if you go back, you see his first speeches, very like static, and then as time progresses and he gets older, he becomes more eloquent.
Yeah, word.
But that's just public speaking. But his story hasn't changed.
I seen a UFO once, like a silver one. Like, all right, like I've seen things in the sky and drugs.
All right, wait, hang on. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say because everyone watching is gonna go, "Come on, Nenke, what were you on?" So,
well, like,
what were you on?
Nothing.
Zero.
Nothing. All right.
Alright.
So me and my friends used to go play basketball.
Hang on, were you on no food at all?
No, I was eating.
Okay.
Good, just in case.
Yeah.
But the only like I've seen like things moving around at night, kind of thing, in the sky, but like never with like a large group of people with a large, like so it was like me and my friends, and there was a women's football game going on beside us on like an oval, and there was like a little silver thing in the sky, like a proper, like it looked like your typical UFO looking thing. Like way up in the sky, it was just kind of like moving like that way too quick.
Mm-hmm.
At the time, I think I was probably like 16, and me and my mates were like, "What the fuck is that?" And like we were just like staring at it for ages. And then we walked over to the people that were like watching the footy game. We were like, "Hey, what do you think that is?" And they're like, "It's UFO." I'm like, "It is, right? There's no way around it. It's like a little silver disc flying in the sky."
Daytime or nighttime?
Daytime.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so like everybody at the football, like the women's football game, kind of stopped as well. Like 'cause they're like, "What's going on?" Like so everyone was just kind of staring at this thing. It was before camera phones and shit. But after that, I was like, "There's flying objects, you know? There's weird flying objects." And the only thing that I could like say that it moved like was a drone. Like
Before drones.
way before drones.
But a drone can't make those sharp angles, right?
yeah,
But not in such a fluid, fast fashion.
yeah, because it was like there, and then it would just like
Yeah.
you'd see the movement, but it would stop dead.
Yeah,
But
a drone is, it can't be as
No.
fine as that movement,
Yeah,
as strict as that.
I went down some crazy alien holes then. Like, you know, I was paying way too much attention to them, like Googling shit.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
they're real. And
The furthest I got was David Icke.
David Icke?
I went all the way down David Icke's rabbit hole with reptilian aliens.
Oh, real? Yeah, I don't think I
Reptilians
went
are
that
here
far.
from another world, but I lost him. I've done this on stage. I
Really?
lost him when he said that the royal family, they're all descendant from lizard people. And the joke I say is like, well, that's bullshit now because Steve Irwin met the Queen. He would have smelt a lizard and tackled her to the ground and hog-tied her and stepped on her throat.
Yeah, he totally would have.
In a split second, because that's his impulsive reaction on how to handle lizards of that size. But yeah, so I reckon, I reckon there's a really good UFO story on it. But there's UFO phenomena is making the news again. I don't know why, but even the American government is like in the process of disclosing
Yeah, they are
a
disclosing
whole
little bits and
heap
pieces.
of aerial phenomenon that they can't explain. One of the best books I've read about it is from a journalist called Leslie Kean, and she wrote a book called UFO, but it was only UFO reports from military or government people.
Oh, yeah, word.
So all the rednecks in America or the Nenkes in Sydney going, what the fuck?
I was in Byron Bay, actually.
Oh, Byron Bay. Yeah, well, fuck, man. So yeah, all those were gone, and they just dealt with strictly Air Force personnel corresponding radar images. So you know how you said it was zigzag across the sky? She would actually produce evidence of radar footage and how it would zigzag. And they were like, no plane can do that. Can go from 0 to 3,000 miles an hour and then dead stop and then turn left.
Yeah, fucking hell.
So yeah, I think
I got a little bit like bored of because I got obsessed with it and then I got bored of it. And then I was
because
like,
it never ends. You do
Yeah.
your fucking head in. You have to pull out.
yeah, fucking hell. There's like
You'll go mad. The next step is to join a MUFON, like a UFO research group, and
Yeah.
go on camps with them.
or just a straight up cult.
Or a cult. Yeah, well, they are a cult, I
Yeah?
reckon. But yeah, there was a time where I wanted to go away on holidays with them, but you pay a bit of money and you go UFO watching in campsites and.
Yeah. I went to like a UFO cult initiation meeting once accidentally. Right, so like me and my mates were drinking in Byron, funnily enough, same place.
Where else?
Jesus, but yeah, there was like all these posters around the place. It's like do you believe in UFOs? Come behind this bar and we'll talk about it, kind of thing. Like, it was like a weird poster. So me and my mate went there, and it was like, they were like, oh, there was this great prophet. They even said prophet. They're like, great prophet who
Oh God.
who he felt some telekinetic force to walk into a volcano, and a UFO ship came down and landed him, and then showed him how to rewrite the Bible or stuff
That's
like
fucking L. Ron Hubbard.
Is it Scientology?
That's Scientology.
Did he
man.
go into a volcano?
Well, oh shit! I'm not gonna do Scientology.
Because I'm a fan of Scientology. Like, if I was gonna join a religion, it'd be that one.
Why?
Because it's so fake, bro. Like, it's everybody knows, man. Like, even the people in that cult are like, whatever. Like,
No, they don't. That's just the thing. The people in Scientology are fucking hardcore. As you progress in the ranks, you become more cooked. A lot more of your income gets siphoned off for the cause. A lot
that'd
more
be
of your
annoying.
time gets siphoned off for the cause. You become like this, closed off being from the rest of your family. Anyone who's not part of Scientology, come on, man, just watch Louis Theroux or
I actually
Roth.
have watched the documentaries on it, but it's just kind of like, eh. Like, I was having sex with this chick that was a Scientologist once, and she didn't tell me until like, kind of like, weirdly enough, a bit into the sex. She just like dropped it because we were kind of talking like while we were like tired fucking. She's like, I'm a Scientologist.
Tired fucking.
Tired fucking. It's like
What's a tired fuck? Is
it's
that
like
half,
you're tired from
half-assed?
fucking, and like, so she kind of like lays on top of you.
You've got to do material about tired fucking.
I have.
Because I reckon so many couples have done tired fucking.
Yeah. Well, it's like she like
Horny, but
she lays on top of you, like flat, and you lay on your back, and you just kind of have to move your crutch,
and that's
and
it.
she like rests her head there, and you're like,
So you're half asleep.
but no, you just have discussions. Like, I use it time to get to know him, you know. But yeah, she told me she was a Scientologist, and I was like, oh, well, I'm still gonna finish this sex, but I cannot respect you anymore. And it's not because of the Scientology; it's the religious people. Like, I find it hard to respect religious people. Like, people believe in like God or things like that. It's like, man, you'll find out when you're dead, you know. Like, even if it is real, like, it could be real. Who knows? But you'll only really know when you're dead.
Do you think I don't know, like there's no God? Like, are you a staunch atheist?
Nah, I'm agnostic. So
yeah,
it's like
that's
there
what
could be.
I'm agnostic.
Hey, it's the only smart way to be. Like, I only
Yeah,
know
'cause
something
you're-
when I see it, you know. Like,
Because Ricky Gervais, who's a staunch atheist, in my opinion, he's on the same level of stupidity as the Pope, who believes there is something. Both of you equally don't fucking know.
yeah, 100%.
You just don't know. All we know is what you can ascertain from physics, and that is that the universe appears wonderfully intelligently designed, but it may not be intelligently designed. It may be part of a construct of multiverses where this universe just happened to be perfect, like Goldilocks, whereas the other exploding universes are not perfect.
That's a very valid point.
So you just don't know.
Yeah,
We
there's no
equally
way of
don't
knowing.
know.
Yeah, that's what I've always thought. Like, I was this before I knew what agnostic was. Like, I was sitting, like, I used to, like, think this. I'm like, dude, you don't know what's going on. Just let it go. Like, you want to spend your whole life focusing on this shit that you have no idea is real or not? You know, like,
It's so strange. And what I find really strange about religion when you focus in on it, it's like, look, I understand that the guy called Jesus Christ was a pretty cool dude who had some amazing things to say, and I understand all of his points, especially when I'm on shrooms. They really hit home. I get it. It's clarity and it's peaceful and it's loving. But to watch you just see the news fleeting, you see what's happening at the Vatican, and you're like,
Right.
who are these weird men in this like extravagant robe with a big hat like a bishop with all jewels on it, and there's these guys with scepters, and what is this club, and they don't allow women like to come
they
to
used
this
to
club.
burn them.
What the
They used
fuck
to
are
burn
you
women.
on?
They were like, oh, it's time to start burning the smart women. Or
Yeah.
witches. You
The
know?
witches, yeah.
And I think like the Christians are evil, right? Like, I'm assuming evil, like their book's evil.
There was a time where, to back up your point, there was a time just after Christianity was spreading across Europe, that they became a group to fear.
Yeah, they went
Like,
around killing people like pagans. And
when
shit
they
like
started becoming powerful enough, when they got a bit of muscle, they started imposing their order across all of Europe. And if you weren't towing the line, you'd be fucked.
The book says a lot. Like, all right, so like, there's this bit in the Bible where like God killed every firstborn child of Egypt to free the slaves. You know, and like,
what a guy.
Yeah. Oh man, so he's a baby killer. Not only is he a baby killer, like, there's an easier way to get around that situation. You know, instead of like the raining frogs and crap like that. If he has the ability to kill every firstborn child in fucking Egypt, he could have just killed the slave owners.
Yes.
Like, that simply. But instead he's like, I'm not doing this unless I get to kill some kids. I don't even think it worked from what I can remember. I think they still had to flee. Like, so he's like, he killed him for no reason. This all-powerful God. Like, your book's fucked. It's confusing.
It was... I had the same conclusion in Bible studies when I was in year 7 or year 8. I remember thinking, why is Abraham about to cut his son's throat? Because God told him, like...
Yeah, for a bet with the devil, was it? I don't know what it was.
I don't know. I just remember thinking, Jesus, who would cut their kid's own throat just because God said so?
Yeah, that's like, how loyal you have to be.
That is so cooked.
Yeah. I always like wonder what like heaven would be like. You know, like if you actually like followed their religion and it is actually there. Like, I'm assuming it's gonna be like a bunch of like pedophile priests standing around a burning woman while God sits in the background biting the heads of babies.
Is that your heaven?
That's what I'm assuming heaven's gonna be like. Yeah. Look, they're fucking they burn smart women. They fucking like they've got a lot of pedophiles in their thing that they seem to be alright with. God loves killing kids. It's his main focus. And look, I get it. I don't like kids either. But like, you know, you shouldn't kill them.
Well, back then, if you wanted to be a pedophile, becoming a priest was the best way to be around them.
Yeah, word.
Because you had this high... All of a sudden, you could do a short course in Bible studies, be given a robe, your own church, ordained as a priest. Then all of a sudden, you had this high stature in society.
Yeah, word.
This instant trust from parents. They just implicitly trust you because you are a man of the cloth.
Yeah.
And then you could just do whatever you wanted behind closed doors. And that's why the church was rife with pedophiles, because it just attracted them.
Yeah, fucking
you know.
I feel
but
like,
going back on what you said before, sorry, go on.
I feel like denying like their priests of sex. Like, all right, you want to follow me? No more sex for you. What we're gonna do is we're gonna put you around a lot of kids. Like,
well, yeah, it's
like.
I
think
yeah.
You're like.
But denying someone from sex, like, you could deny me sex for as long as you can, but I'm not going to go to a primary school. I'm going to sneak into a brothel.
Yeah,
right?
Of course. Brothel. Or masturbate constantly.
Because that's how my synapses in my brain are firing.
Yeah.
But their synapses, I mean...
Yeah, they're weird fucking...
They're just firing in the wrong way.
Yeah.
I don't think... You know, this is going to sound really weird, but I think pedophiles should be just pulled away from society, locked up forever, but given Wi-Fi and some creature comforts, but not allowed to mix with society ever again, because we just have to say to them, you came out of the factory line,
you fucked
wrong.
Up.
Your wires are crossed. You want to have sex with children, and they're our most precious asset for our future generation. So we can't let you around them.
I reckon
None of this fucking let them back out, put them on a register, they live amongst us, they castrate them, they still... Some of them you castrate, but they still end up finding testosterone cream.
Yeah, I reckon just shoot them. Like, to be honest, just get it out of the way.
No, donate them to science. Let cancer research.
You could use them to fucking test new medicines.
Why are you
COVID
testing
vaccine?
Why are you
Yeah.
testing on cute, fluffy rabbits?
Yeah, these
and
beautiful
leave them alone.
animals.
They're gorgeous
Yeah.
little rabbits with their little noses that look like a girl's beautiful pink asshole.
Yeah.
Leave them alone.
There's pedophiles in the world you could be jamming needles
Pick
into.
on the pedos.
Yeah, fuck it. You know?
But yeah, going back to what you said before about what you think heaven is, I think the ancient Greeks had a good grasp of what hell is, right? And I work at a pub where I see people playing pokies. And I had no idea what hell was. But the ancient Greeks defined hell as, their word was golasi, and golasi translates to Greek as being stuck. So their idea of hell was to be addicted to something, that you were stuck in a certain cycle that was damaging to oneself.
Oh, wow.
And I can see that. I can see how hell is repetition, and repetition of an action that you find completely addictive, that you can't escape from, that's slowly destroying you, like pokies or ice or
Cigarettes or beer.
yeah.
Sounds like a fun time to me. It sounds like they're just like, it sounds like a good place to go.
That's your hell.
Maybe I'm going to, that's my heaven.
So I think
Like if
you want to
if
go
I-
to hell.
Yeah, I want to go to hell, I guess. You know?
Yeah. So when you're at the pearly gates, you just ask, "What's going on in there, bro?"
like, yeah. Is there any alcohol or cigarettes going on? They're like, nah,
No.
that's all in hell. I'm like, oh, guess
Later,
not.
bro.
Check you later, bruh. Yeah, it's fun times. Yeah, like, was it? I think like Buddhism isn't getting enough people rocking up with a gun and shooting up their churches.
Well, no, but to be fair to the other religions, Buddhism. I read this book. I forget what it's called, but I think it's fucking Benjamin Franklin. Believe it or not, he took away all the miracles and all the bullshit. Well, I say bullshit. He took away all the nonsensical stuff from the Bible, from the Quran, and from Buddhism teaching, and he put it all side by side, and he lined it up, and it's all the same shit.
Oh yeah,
It's
basically.
the same fucking story. Muhammad, Buddha, Jesus, they all said be kind to each other, treat each other with respect, love thy neighbor. They all said that. They just said it differently.
Yeah.
It's all the same fucking message.
If you need in saying this, if you need a religion to be a good person, like, go for it. Me personally, man, I can just be good, and I don't need a religion to tell me what to do.
You have this moral code, right?
I just like treat people the way I want to be treated, which I think's from the Bible. Like, but yeah, just I can't help doing nice things sometimes. Like sometimes I'm just like, oh, this is the right thing to do, and then I just do it, you know. And I don't want to be evil, I guess, but like I don't want to be great, like a nice, super nice person or anything. I just want to. Oh, I just if I can help someone, I will. It's as simple as that. Like if there's any way I can help someone who's a nice, not arsehole kind of human being, I'll help them. But if they get in my way, I will stamp on them. I'll stamp on their faces.
I try every time I fall asleep, every night I fall asleep nice.
Yeah.
Like I slip away nicely. And when I've done bad shit, I can't slip off the edge of consciousness into sleep comfortably.
Yeah.
Yeah, it plays on me.
So what do you have to think about to be nice?
I'm saying that's my moral code. That's how I live my
so you'll
day.
sleep better if you've been
If
a nice person.
Yeah, if I fucked someone and haven't made peace, I can't slip off into sleep peacefully.
Yeah, no, I hear you, man.
So I think that's my police.
Sometimes I
That
don't want
pulls
to do
me up.
nice shit. Like sometimes I'm like, I don't want to do this nice thing for this person, but like I'm there and I'm like, I'll just do it.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes like someone will piss me off and I'll be angry at them. I'll be like, I'll get a chance to do something nice or forgive them, and I'll just be like, fuck it, I'll just do it. Like I don't want to spend my whole life with this stress or like worried or thinking about it. I'm like, and how much do I really care about it? You know, like I swear half the fucking arguments and shit I get in, or like with people, I'm just bored. It's like they'll say something, I kind of feel something about it at that moment, and then all of a sudden I'm just like, I don't really care. Like halfway through, and that's when I win the argument because I'm like, I could just fuck with you now. It's gonna be fun. It's pretty much how I write comedy. I go to bars and argue with people about things that I don't really know much about.
Do you write pad to pen?
Yeah. Well, like I write in my phone.
Yeah. Do you write or do you keyword?
Right.
Right. Like, hey, blah 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 blah, punchline, blah blah blah. Because I can't do that.
Punchline. Like as many as I can fit in the thing. I didn't always do it like this. I just kind of like
I try and rant on an idea on
Yeah.
stage, and if the rant dies, they just laugh at me because I'm ranting and I get off.
Yeah. Well, like this is my biggest problem. I write this shit down for like 6 to 7 minutes, like of shit that I've written down, and I start and like, all right, so like if I'm talking about my dick, within the first like 30 seconds, I'm now aware either they're with me or they're not with me. but I can't change the joke. All my jokes are that long. It's the kind of comedy I like doing. And I'm like, so I just have to stick it out. But like my thing is like, while I'm trying to stick it out, I'm like, all right, try winning back. Like this bit will get him. This bit will get him. Fuck it. This bit will get him. Until the point where I'm just like, I don't care. Like just have fun. As long as you're having fun, bro. But yeah, I know a lot of people don't like the whole scripted thing, but I used to just my first year, I'd write down key points. Not even without like punchlines and shit sometimes. And I'll just come up with the punchline on the spot. And like I'd do it like freestyling. And then I moved to Melbourne and I went to the Bear Pit when the Bear Pit was like filled with like solid like acts from all over the world and shit like that.
Yeah, right. In Exford, the Late Show.
And I went and did my bit, which was just like scribbled together. And then I was like, oh shit, these guys have like solid material. I want to try and get that. And then I think I just like doing it like that. I don't need to. Like I can go off book if I want to, but like I want to write good material and I'm going to do it until it's good. You know, like I'll change it. I'll fuck with it like over time. I take risks, you know? I'm trying to do it the riskiest, hardest way.
You have to.
Yeah.
If you're not going to take risks on stage.
Yeah. Fucking what are you doing?
What are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing?
You've got to die. It's just such a weird feeling.
Yeah. I don't even mind bombing anymore now. I'm kind of at this point where I'm like, this didn't work, but this worked yesterday. You know? Like, this worked yesterday, fine. These people aren't digging it. Just try winning back while it's happening. If it doesn't happen, I'm like, I don't fully bomb properly much. Like, as long as I can get, like, a couple of laughs when, like, I know I'm bombing. Like, I'm bombing. As long as one of these punchlines land, I'm going to be happy. Just one of them. I know it's been 5 minutes. You know, I think MCing is really fucking teaching me shit. Like, MCing's, like, the hardest job.
MCing's very hard. It's really understated.
Yeah. Oh, it's like...
Here in Australia. In the UK, an MC would get paid what the headliner gets paid. Because they appreciate and respect the MC is the backbone of the show.
Yeah.
You can't just have shit acts and then a headliner.
Yeah, if you bomb, man, it's happened once at the Bendy. I bombed so bad that the next act, he was a good comic, bombed because of me.
You left some stink on the stage.
I left that stink, and like I knew I left. It rarely happens, man. I've never bombed that hard.
It's brutal.
MCing. And he got up and like went to do his thing, and I was like, oh shit. Like I feel so bad. It's the first time I've got him up in my room and shit. I'm like, oh, I'm such a dick. And but I've also done so well MCing that the next person's bombed. So it works.
Well, that's not your business.
You know what's weird though? I ditched that joke. It was like that joke's worked quite a few times.
Yeah.
But I fucked it up so hard that it bombed so hard that I quit drinking for 2 weeks after that. Like,
really?
Yeah, I did. I was like
shell shocked.
I was like, how did I fuck that up so bad? Like,
really?
Well, like I kept like getting to a bit and missing the punchline, and then I'd miss a bit that would make the next bit make sense. So it was like missed the punchline, skipped a massive bit, and now I'm just saying hate speech, and I'm like, this isn't going well.
Well, that's why I got to the point where it's like you've got to start performing sober all the time, because then you can just see how a joke should go. Like, I've noticed now that stand-up is when you're doing well, you have a rhythm. It's almost like a dance, like to your words. It's like da 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 punchline, da 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 punchline. You have this certain flow that you can feel. It's natural. It's the words are clicking into the right place. Some people call it the zone or mojo, whatever. But when I'm sober, I can be right there at that moment and feel it. But I can't concentrate it on too much, because it's like dissecting a frog. If you think about it too much, you'll become rigid.
Yeah.
So you sort of just... I'm aware of its presence when I'm sober. And I try not to dwell on it too much, because it's like that old fable where a scorpion asked the caterpillar, how the fuck do you move all 100 feet and walk, man? And the caterpillar went, fuck, I don't know. And it fell over.
So it's kind of like
don't overthink it.
Like being on ecstasy in front of your parents for the first time. It's like I've got this feeling. I've got this feeling, but look, you're being nice to them. Don't be too nice. You know, don't go with this feeling too hard. You're gonna fuck this up. They're gonna know. They're gonna know.
My parents would never know because they're Greek factory workers. They wouldn't know if I'm peeing off my head. They had no idea.
My dad gave me drugs. I was like,
Your dad?
yeah. Oh, and I shouldn't have said that. Fuck it.
Mr. Nenke gave you drugs?
Yeah.
Sick.
We just smoked weed together and shit sometimes. Did some shrooms.
Do you still have contact with your dad?
Nah.
Do you know where he is?
Yep. Yeah, he's in New South Wales. And me and my family don't talk much because they abandoned me when I was young.
Really?
Yeah, it was all right.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
No, it's not.
Look, after you fought for your butt cherry, you really know where you stand in the world.
There's too many things happening in that sentence. Wait, first, so that your parents told you we're leaving and we don't want you to come?
No, they were like, get out.
Oh, they said get out. How
Yeah.
old did they say this to you?
I was probably like 14 or 13. I can't really remember. Probably 14.
Were you a problem kid at that age, or?
No, I think my parents had their own issues going on.
All right. So you were the only child in the house.
Well, I was living with my mom and she kicked me out when I was 12, and then I moved in with my dad. I was on a lot of drugs at the time, so I don't really know.
And he told you to leave.
Yeah.
Because of your drug problem.
No. He's a bit crazy, so we always fight.
Okay.
And
You say fight. You'd fist fight.
yeah, I'd hit him with a fire poker sometimes and shit. It's just about winning, because he's
Right.
crazy. So he'd flip out, and I'd be like, all right, let's do this.
And you were 12.
Yeah, 12 to 14 or something like that. And then he doesn't remember any of this shit. He's like,
Because he was too far gone?
I don't even know what's going on with him. Yeah. So,
Okay.
but like,
When you say you don't know what's going on, was it just alcohol or was it mental issues as
I
well?
think it's mental issues more
Yeah,
than
sure.
anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, then I was just on my own for a bit. And yeah, it wasn't too bad.
So you were homeless at 15.
Yeah, around 14 or 15, something like that.
Where would you I'm just trying to get into your head what a day was like for a 15-year-old homeless kid in New South Wales. Like, how does it, like...
All right, so you don't sleep on the outskirts of town. The idea is to sleep like closer to civilization as possible.
Why?
Because that's where the creeps are.
Okay.
People can hear you scream when you're in that's why people like are sleeping in the city right now. And they're not out in the bush. All right, you go steal some food. What was weird is like I was trying to get Centrelink, and they weren't giving it to me because I was too young, and my dad had to like tell them that he kicked me out. He wasn't doing it. So like they were just like, just steal and don't get caught. And I was like, all right, because I don't like stealing. It's not like I hate it almost, like it's not my thing. And then yeah, you just
So where were you stealing food?
like Coles and Kmart and shit.
Okay.
And you get candy from Kmart, food from Coles. But I got busted at Coles, and like I had to fight, go to fight the security guard, because if I didn't want to go to Cobbin, because like there was no family to go back to. So it was like, all right, you gotta. He's like, you can either come back with me, or we're gonna drag you back. And I was like, walking back with him, I was like, oh god, I'm not going to Cobbin today. And I was like, you're gonna have to drag me back. And they're like, oh, we don't want any trouble. And I'm like, all right, fucking, I'm out of here.
So you walked out, yeah.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, you would have been in the judicial process of, like, a boarding home or something like foster care, like just
Yeah,
something
you
like
get
a
put in some
salvo,
shitty
like a
ass place.
dormitory, yeah.
Hey,
Okay.
I'd rather just.
So, yeah, so you'd rather just go it alone. So you were... Okay, yeah. So
Right.
you're 15, stealing from Kmart, Coles, eating, sleeping in inner city so that... To
Yeah.
avoid the creeps and to be close to, in the vicinity if someone could hear you screaming.
Yeah, some drug dealers took me in at the end, so
Okay.
that was all right. They raised me good.
Hey,
They're good people.
that's a good, positive drug story.
Yeah,
They fed and clothed him.
yeah, man, they sorted me out. Like I lived in like a weird little greenhouse, but then I was like, there's like this drive that kicked in, that like I don't think I'd have otherwise. So it's like if I start doing stuff and I just have to do it, and like I get really like zoomed in on it and just start running at it as hard as I can.
Is this now your general attitude towards things
life.
you do?
Everything, yeah.
Yeah,
So
you
it
have
was
this
like,
ambition
Yeah,
because of what you've come from. Like
Yeah.
nothing.
No, it was like it's a drive that had to kick in. So it's either I can sit here and be here forever, or I can run forward. And like you're gonna have to do some shit and go through some stuff, but you gotta like. So it's like I'm like I don't want to be on the street. I want to get into like a nice house, or something like that, and you just have to start doing shit. You gotta understand patience, but realize your drive is like constantly pushing you forward. The problem is I can't turn it off. So it's like I started doing comedy for like I was at a bar arguing with a dude about if dolphins were fish or mammals or whatever, and like a bunch of people were laughing. Somebody's like, "Do that on stage, and you'll be a comedian." And I went to a comedy room, did it on stage, got laughs. I was like, just chill on this. Don't let your drive take over. Like, just enjoy comedy. Just walk around. Just have fun, and just don't take it too seriously. And then it was like a week later, I'm like, "No, fucking doing this. I'm moving to Melbourne. Fucking sorting me life out." Yeah.
So before that, can you go back to when you're 15, 16, these, let's say, drug dealers took you in and you were living in like the back of a greenhouse?
Yeah, it was like
in amongst marijuana plants?
Nah, it was just, they just had a greenhouse kind of thing.
Okay, so you're living in there?
Yeah.
Fucking steamy as fuck.
It was warm, yeah.
Jesus. Who needs central heating?
I didn't sleep much. I was on a lot of drugs at the time.
And how long did that last? Did that take you to 18?
Nah, it was like, it's hard to put dates. I know, like, by the time I was 16 and a bit, I had to quit drugs and move to Byron Bay because I was like, I'd gone too far.
Who took you to Byron? Yourself?
I did it, yeah.
Okay. And did you stay with a family there, or
Well,
were you still solo?
I had a friend I used to rap with, and he moved away
Okay.
before all the bad shit went down. And then he was living with weirdly enough some people in an alien cult, but he wasn't in an alien cult. He's like, come live with us. Or come stay on the futon for a bit and just visit. And I went up there, and they were like, "All right, you can just stay on the futon, pay us $50. And then I was like, "All right, I need to get a job." And then like my drive kicks in again. Like, become normal, sober up.
And that's when...
I didn't do drugs for like 5 or 6 years after that.
So you bypassed high school?
Yeah, I didn't get high school. I think I was like...
Fucking hell. There's a lot of people like you, right, that bypassed high school. And we just think we lived in this privileged world, which we do here in Australia, but there are kids that haven't gone to fucking high school, man.
Yeah, fucking
that in itself is fucking criminal.
Yeah. I had to teach myself how to read and write. We've been through this already, but yeah, 19
but you
years
know
old.
what? I've just joined the dots now because I'm like, what do you mean you had to teach yourself to read and write? But now I completely understand. It's come full circle. You've been on your own for so long.
Yeah.
Your dad kicked you out because of his drug problem. Then your mum kicked you out as well because she was
Mum,
sick
then
of you
dad,
going,
yeah.
yo, yeah, get the fuck out of the house.
Yeah, she wasn't a...
So she was a carbon copy of your dad?
No, she wasn't like a good person.
Okay.
It's like she seems good, but like, yeah, she wasn't really like great. And I just started playing up on it. I was like, fuck you. I'm not doing what you want. I'm not fucking following your crazy ideas. Like, it was like...
What were her crazy ideas?
I was just like, there was a lot of neglect that like I didn't really realize at the time, but it was like things like my room was just like a room with like a stanky ass bed and like a table and a bunch of paper that I would draw on. I only had like 2 pairs of shorts and a shirt, and all my sisters had like everything.
In the next room?
Yeah, they had everything they needed. And like...
So you were living... When you lived with your mother, you lived with your sister as well?
Yeah.
And she had a proper...
She had everything, yeah.
She had a privileged bedroom fit out.
Yeah. So did she.
And you had the skank
version. I just kept thinking, like, why do I have to do this?
Were you her biological son?
Yeah. So, but I was just confused about it a lot when I was young.
Very confused. What the
fuck?
fuck?
But like, I'm dyslexic.
But what could you have done that warranted that from her? You were only 14, 15 at the time, right? Like how...
No, that was when I was 12. So that was like...
When you were 12. So
yeah.
How bad can a 12-year-old kid be? Jesus.
No, it wasn't that bad.
So that's like, what I mean. No kid can be that bad.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just a weird choice for her. Like, but yeah. So, but I was really happy when I moved in with my dad. But my dad was also a bit crazy. But it wasn't that. Like, everything worked out. I'm happy that like, not only that, I love my parents still. Like, I wish them 100% the best. Like, I don't wish any negative stuff towards them. I just, like, my life's fine. I live good, man. I raised myself pretty well.
One thing I want to ask is, how do you find that forgiveness inside of you to forgive them? Like, where does that come from? What is that? Because you're talking about a mother that kicked you out. only gave you 2 pairs of shorts, a shitty bed with a table, a couple of pencils to draw, a dad who was physically abusive towards you. How do you and kicked you out as well? Wouldn't sign paperwork to say you moved out so you could get Centrelink benefits. Where does that? I'm just like, how do you find that fucking joy inside you to forgive him? Where does that come from? Because that is an amazing ability you have to forgive like that.
Yeah.
Fucking dude.
Yeah, well, it's like fucking. I think you love your folks, you know, no matter what. They're just not good for me, and I'm not good for them. Doesn't mean I have to. It's like you meet someone with a different opinion to you, and it makes you not want to hang out. But do you go?
But having an opinion is one thing.
This is like shooting it at like a minor level.
Really fucking your life up is a different thing.
Well, it didn't fuck my life up. I ended up.
You had to fight.
Yeah, well, like I've got this drive and these fucking. Like I have a different view on things, which is annoying. It's weird. Like it feels lonely a lot in my head, but.
I think what you're trying to say is something not. Is it similar to like the Johnny Cash song, "A Boy Named Sue"?
Yeah.
Definitely. Johnny Cash. If you don't know, Johnny Cash has a song where he named his son Sue, and when in the song, Sue ends up meeting his dad, and he bashes him, and he goes, "Son, I gave you that name because I knew you'd have to fight for your whole life to defend yourself because I'm not going to be around here for you to look after you. So I gave you a girl's name so you could fight."
It's similar. Well, it's kind of just like fucking, like. All right, so it's like fighting for your butt cherry for the first time.
All right. Oh yeah, I wanted to get onto that.
All right, so
where were you? Where did you have?
So I was a kid sitting on a train station really late at night when I but I was just kind of like just finding something to do during the nighttime. This big fat drunk guy, like redneck, comes and sits down to me. I kind of look girlish, to be fair. Like I had really long hair, young, tall. Sat down next to me, and then he tried to molest me. So he was like. Put his hand on my leg and he's like, "Hold my hand, you fucking bitch." And I was like, "Oh God." And like, so like you had 2 things can happen in that situation. So it's like you can just roll over, or I had a skateboard next to me, so I flicked the skateboard up and just put it in his face. And it was like, da, 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 da. And then I ran off. But he was fucked. Like I fucked up his head real good. I remember like sitting in the like this park down the road from the train station, and I was like hyperventilating. I was like, I got this. Like that's the worst thing that could possibly happen, and I got this. So it was like every time every time the worst possible thing has happened to me, I've overcome it. So I'm like, I've got this. You know, like I'm like, all right. So like I'll walk through a dark park at night by myself because if people attack me, I'm like, I got this. There's no fear in me. I'm not scared of anything like that. You know, I'm afraid of commitment. But yeah, like it's given me like strengths that I wouldn't have otherwise. That I need, like to survive. Like if I feel anxiety, I just run at things. Like I don't feel like I'll be like, I'm nervous. Fuck it. Let's just like see how this goes. Worst possible outcomes have already happened. You know, it's like I find things easier because of it. Like when something bad happens to like a group of people, they're like, oh, like they feel depression and they get sad for ages, where I just kind of go, fucking, this happened. All right, time to keep moving. Like deal with your problems, keep moving. Yeah, so if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be this way. So fighting for your butt cherry. If that makes sense.
Yeah, well, make sure you thank him when you win an Oscar.
Yeah, fucking A.
Thanks for kicking me out.
Yeah.
And to that guy on the train, thanks for trying to rape me, because it really strengthened me.
Yeah, it did. Like, it's the worst thing you can think of, right? Like,
yeah, I get it. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, good.
Makes sense. We got to call it quits, man.
That's sweet as,
That's
bro.
time.
Thanks for having me, Johnny. Fucking legend.
Anytime, come back again.
I will, bro. Thanks
Nenke.
heaps, mate.
Bye.
Peace.